Today I'm going to be taking this poster and trying to make it look a little bit more like art. I got this poster from a friend who works at a library. They were cleaning out a closet, found these old posters, and I said, yes, I want it. It is a take on Sunday afternoon on the island of La Grande Jatte by Georges Seurat, and I absolutely love it. Instead of everyone just enjoying the park, they are enjoying the park with books. But I don't love the title and the obviousness of the poster. So I'm going to be taking some acrylic gel medium and adding texture to it. I would definitely recommend doing it on a test poster or a test spot on the poster like I am. That way you can make sure the ink on your poster doesn't bleed. You can experiment with different techniques. At first, because this painting has so much texture with all the dots, I thought I would do little dots, and then I realized how long that would take, and I just started going crazy with the brush. I also experimented with some brush strokes, making sure that the acrylic gel medium is layered on nice and thickly, so it added that depth and texture that we're looking for, and then just let it dry. As you can see in the middle here, I left a shiny bit to show you the difference. That shine is the original flat poster, and then here's the texture. Unfortunately, you can't really see it that well because there's so much color and texture on the original painting on the poster, but if you look at the black of her dress, the black of the dog compared to the black of this gentleman's suit, you can definitely see the difference in shine, the difference in texture that we're going for. So this is what I ended up doing. Just nice big globs. Use a cheap brush, don't ruin your good brushes. And I just went all over, adding that texture, letting it dry. It did curl the page a little because there was so much moisture, but it flattened out when I glued it to my foam board later. Once everything was dried, I made sure I left enough edge all around from my frame here so that I got as much of the poster as I could. And then I just trimmed it down with a straight edge on a cutting mat with an X-Acto knife. I then took a piece of foam board and cut it to the same size. And I'm using spray mount adhesive to attach the two together. I did make my own frame for this because I'm cutting down the poster to a very specific size for my wall. I just took some picture frame trim, cut it at 45-degree angles, glued it together, added some corner braces to the back, glued it to the paper here underneath, had to add a bunch of wood filler to get it looking good. But that's what I did. I then used the trim pieces to experiment with paint colors for what I wanted to match my frame with. And then I sealed it with some clear spray satin sealer. I then added my picture hanging bracket to the back, and these usually have really tiny nails, so what I like to do is get it started by holding it in a bobby pin and then hammering it in until the nails got going, and then finish hammering it down. This little bobby pin trick when you're doing really tiny nails is such a great tip. Once the frame was all put together, or if you're already using a frame you've got, just pop it in the back. If you don't have frame points or frame brackets, you can just use tape. I'm using painter's tape. You can use craft paper tape is traditional, but I'm using what I got, and I'm just putting on some painter's tape to hold my foam board and poster into my picture frame. And once it's done, here it is hanging on my wall. Again, the texture isn't as visible as I would have liked because there's so much color dimension in the painting itself, but you can definitely see that it doesn't look as much like a poster. It doesn't have that flat overall shine when the sun hits it or when the light hits it. And if you look at certain angles like here, you can definitely see that texture I added, especially to the black areas. So I would recommend this process for darker images, definitely. But If you have an old poster laying around and you're thinking about getting rid of it, but you still kind of like it, play with this, experiment, and I hope you try it out yourself and enjoy.